So I kind of wish that things were a little bit different. Microsoft coming off what is arguably, if not 100% accurately, their best showcase that they've ever put out. And, I would like to say, hey, things are really looking up, and, Xbox is, coming such a long way. Those are things I'd like to be saying. The fact of the matter is, we didn't even get a full day of excitement as Xbox fans, right? So, Phil Spencer, of course, is going to do interviews, and he's going to, be schmarmy and all that kind of stuff, because that's what Phil Spencer does. That's who he is. He's got to go out there and, be as vague as possible, and just make sure that nobody is happy that owns an Xbox, and then trust me, I get it. Some people might hear me say that and go, I'm happy, I get to play my, I get my games for free. Like, I get it. People like getting stuff on Game Pass or whatever. To me, a rental service is never a huge deal, not a reason to own an Xbox, certainly. With that being said, already hearing that, he's going to put games on other platforms. Yet again, this is a situation where I'm kind of left scratching my head. Like, you literally could have had people running out to buy an Xbox after that showcase, and you hurt yourself by, by doing this, So it really makes no sense to me. I'm just sitting here kind of wondering what Microsoft has in mind in terms of long-term availability of Xbox. I know they're always talking about new hardware and things like that, but yesterday, or the other day, when they're talking about we're going to continue to support hardware, blah blah blah. Okay, I thought they did bare minimum, because if you look at the hardware that was rumored and leaked from the FTC trial, they had that cylinder, like, redesigned Xbox Series X that looked kind of cool. They had a haptic feedback controller that kind of was more in line with what PlayStation has to offer. So now it doesn't look like they're doing either of those things. They just did a basic white version with more hard drive space in the Series S, and they did a white Series X with no disk drive, and it just looks like the current Series X. So yeah, I'm kind of sitting there saying they're doing the bare minimum right now on this stuff, and you kind of wonder why or whatever. But anyway, obviously, Doom: The Dark Ages was announced day one as a PlayStation thing. He talked about more Xbox games going more multi-platform in the future, which clearly raised some eyebrows on the internet. Here's what he said: "You're going to see more of our games on more platforms, and we just see that as a benefit to the franchises we're building, and we see that from players, and the players love to be able to play." So obviously, what's the incentive for Xbox customers now? Phil Spencer says it is day one Game Pass releases, apparently. The ability to buy or subscribe and allowing fans to play games across both console and PC. With Spencer also commenting that future hardware and forward compatibility within the Xbox ecosystem. So, while Xbox has previously stated that Xbox releases on other platforms were determined by a case-by-case basis, so far it has only been mostly existing series and IPs that have been previously on other platforms. There's obviously exceptions: Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, Pentiment. Yeah, so to me, I'm wondering what's the point of an Xbox. Like, to me, that's not a reason. So here's the funny thing anyway. So Microsoft gaming CEO in February 15, 2024. This was just a few months ago. He says, looking forward, so 4 games, no promise beyond that. So if you're on those other platforms and you see these 4 games coming, please don't take it as some signal that everything is coming. It's not. Fast forward to June 9th. Our commitment to our Xbox customers is you're going to get the opportunity to buy or subscribe to the game. We're going to support the game on other screens, and you're going to see more of our games on more platforms, and we just see that as a benefit that the franchises we're building, and we see that from players, and the players love to play. So, and there's another quote too where Phil says that buying ZeniMax was about having exclusives where Game Pass exists. So within a 5-month period, he's changed his tune, and within a couple-year period, changed his tune. So I think at some point you have to go, there's some lies here. what do we do about that as Xbox fans? What can we do about that? Well, there's not really much that we can do about that. I think that at the end of the day, we have to kind of, you either accept this stuff or you don't. To be honest with you, it doesn't look like they're going to change. Honestly, I would love to say that it seems like they're going to change course, or that there's something that we can say or do that'll change their direction, but honestly it just doesn't feel that way. And I hope that whatever I'm just baffled at this, because to me they just had this amazing showcase that blew everything away, and now we're sort of in this situation where not even a few hours later you have Phil Spencer talking about putting exclusive games on other consoles. So, and it's not only that, but it's once again this ambiguous type of comment that just leaves people guessing. So, again, I honestly don't see how this benefits Xbox users in the least. Like, okay, so we get a rental service. Oh, boo hoo! Like that doesn't mean anything to me, right? Couldn't somebody just have a GameFly and a PS5 and do the same thing? I mean, honestly, like, to me, it's just such a weird attempt at a flex. I'm kind of baffled at some of this. Like, I don't really understand the thought process that goes into this. Because honestly, when you promise gamers things, I think that it's best to kind of deliver that. Like, I think that you're killing reasons to own an Xbox, and the less people that own an Xbox, I think, is going to be worse for gaming in general, right? I mean, that's just a fact. There's not really much else to say. It's a very depressing kind of situation when you say things and then you do the other thing. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that things can maybe change, but something tells me that it's just going to get worse for fans here on out. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe you guys might feel a little bit differently than I do. I hope that we get something good from Microsoft sooner rather than later. It does sort of remind me of some of the other quotes that Phil Spencer has obviously lied about. So this other quote, he says, "Think you hit the point right of what it means to own an Xbox. The thing I want to be focused on is how do we continue to innovate for people who've made their commitment to our hardware platform, and how do we continue to make sure they feel great about their investment that we've built." So I don't think taking away all the exclusives is a good way to do that. So I don't know. What do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about that? Not really having anything exclusive, man. Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.